Hey folks, it's time for Chicken Tuesday. Okay, it's time for another installment of Chicken Tuesday. And why are we doing this? Well, there's been a number of you that have said we wanted to see more chickens, and so I'm giving you more chickens. Last week we had an episode. This week it's all about the beginnings and the origins of these chickens. It's pretty simple. They come from an egg. Many of you remember, if you've been watching for any length of time, we had chickens back when we lived in California. I'll roll some of that in there. Some of the chickens we had. We had 3, and we had a Barred Rock. We had a Buff Orpington, and we had a Rhode Island Red. And then a little later on, we actually got 2 more chickens and we added to the brood. One of them, unfortunately, turned into a rooster. Which, back where we were, we couldn't have roosters, and we didn't know that it was going to turn into a rooster. We were guaranteed it was a chicken or a hen, but it was a rooster. And because they came as a pair, we ended up giving the 2 of them away to some friends who had chickens who could have roosters. So that worked out pretty good. And then we moved from California to Texas, and we took those remaining 3 chickens and we gave them to a different friend who had other chickens, and they're doing quite well. They're still around and still giving eggs to our friends. So there you have it. Then we moved here to the great state of Texas, and we decided we needed to have more chickens. So we did. We actually got a total of 8 chickens at one time, and I'm rolling some footage in of some of those there, and 2 of those ended up being roosters. That's right, we had 2 roosters. We needed to give them up too because of our close proximity of neighbors here. We wanted to be good neighbors because those roosters were getting to be kind of loud as they were getting older, so we ended up butchering them. Yeah, but they did taste good. And then, so that means we had started with 8, then it narrowed down to 6 hens, and they were all wonderful hens. And one of the hens, unfortunately, couldn't walk anymore. She was one of those kinds of hens specifically raised for eating, and we didn't know that when we bought it. She went up lame, and she wasn't going to survive, so we ended up butchering her. She tasted good, too. And then we were left with 5. And a few weeks back, if you recall, we had an episode where we talked a little bit about the fate of one of those 5. Oh, but I think she knocked herself out and died. I think she broke her neck in the chicken coop. So now we have 4. We're down to 4 hens that are doing quite well, laying eggs very regularly. Even through the winter, it was wonderful. And so that's kind of the history of us, the shooting family, having chickens. We've had chickens now probably a good 5-6 years total, including, well, maybe more than that now, 5, 6, maybe 7 years if 2019. That would be, yeah. And we love having chickens. They're beautiful animals, and they're very calming. The little cooing that they do, the clucking that they do, the companionship, believe it or not, that chickens provide is absolutely amazing. As long as, and you can see right there, I've got the pink container, the magic pink container. You watch when I take this magic pink container, what happens. But they pretty much go wherever I go as long as I have one of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to empty it into their chicken coop, and for the rest of this time, you're going to watch the chickens. All right, we'll see you a little bit later. They just love their chicken scratch. All right, Thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the chickens. And next week, let's see, we'll talk about what do we feed chickens. All right, see you next time.